Welcome again to the Franciscan Hermitage here in Indianapolis, Indiana, for the fourth Sunday of Easter. I chose to look a little more carefully at this one text in the beginning of the second reading. It said, "If you are patient when you suffer for good, this is a grace before God." And then in that reading, they describe how Jesus, who was seeking to do good for everybody, was being attacked. And he didn't fight back. I think it's so important that we understand that Jesus is our model. And it's not easy when you are doing something that is proper and good, and people stand by and criticize, and in some cases become belligerent and even fight. You know, years ago, a husband and wife who belonged to one of our meditation support groups were having some real serious issues with their son. He graduated from high school and did nothing but sit around the house. And eventually the parents called him to accountability and said, if you're going to be part of this household, you're going to have to pick up some of the responsibility. And of course he got very angry. This went on for some time, and finally the parents said, look, you're old enough to start taking care of yourself. So you either are going to go out and get a job, or you can no longer live here. And of course, they started to get verbal abuse from this son. And they got to a point where they told him, look, if you do not do your share in helping us here in the house, then you can't live here. And so when he was gone, they changed all the locks in the house, and he was outside. But they were doing what they felt was the best thing for the child and for them as parents. So he left and became a member of a gang and was gone for a couple of years, and they never heard from him. And eventually, out of the blue, he shows up at the front door of the house. And when the parents came to the door, he apologized. And he said that he realized that his life was going nowhere, and that he was willing to follow the directives of the parents. And so they took him in, and he registered for college and is now an astrophysicist. Now, my point is, the parents were doing what they felt was right and good for themselves and for the child. And in this particular situation, it worked out beautifully. What we have to do is to understand that process. All of us have difficulty, sometimes with life experience, and sometimes with other people. And our job is not to fight back. Our job is simply to continue to do what we know is right, and to understand then that everything will turn out for the best for everyone who is involved. You know, my dear friends, just this morning on TV I saw a brief interview with a woman who was beaten and shot. And she has now completely recovered, but she lost her left eye in the process. And when they interviewed her, they asked her if she had any anger for the person who perpetrated this crime. And she said, oh no, she said, I don't have time to think about him. I have to think about healing and to think about all the things that I can do in order to make my life full. My dear friends, take a look in your life where you have difficulty, and then simply accept it all and continue to do what you know is right, understanding that God will gift you with a reward. See what you can do this week about picking up the responsibility for things in your life that are difficult. Don't fight. Just accept it all. Continue to do what you know is right, and let God take care of everything else. Remember, we are all connected in one divine, cosmic, unconditional love energy. And our job is to radiate that energy to all those whose lives we touch. See how radiant you can be this week toward the people who are in your life. Remember, you're a powerful spiritual being, and your love makes a difference.